So 2.1 is here with a lot of content, but in this video we will focus mostly on the most important pieces of the update in detail. But don't worry, I'm not going to geek you out with too many stats and numbers. We'll briefly talk about the new echoes, then dive into Phoebe and her combat styles, Whimpering Wastes, the new permanent game mode, the 2 new maps, the fishing mechanics, and let's not forget about the ray tracing, which I have some opinions on, but we'll discuss that later. Oh, and did I mention that Wuva is coming to macOS? If you're one of those with a Mac and wanted to play Wuva natively, you'll be able to do so starting March 27th without needing an emulator. Let's cover the small details quickly. There are 5 new echoes, out of which 3 of them are cost 1 echo, and the remaining 2 are cost 3 echoes. Now, if you're not familiar with what I mean by cost, let me simplify it. The higher the cost, the better the stats and buffs. As you level up your databank, you'll be able to equip higher cost echoes. Think of the databank like a Pokédex. Capturing more and unique echoes increases your databank level. Now, to quickly wrap it up, Golden Junkrock deals spectro damage. Calcified Junkrock heals nearby resonators. Arrow Prism deals arrow damage. The statue deals spectro damage. Lastly, Hurriclaw deals arrow damage while charging at the enemy. Before we get into the details of all the important updates, I'd like to thank my subscribers. Your support means a lot to me. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. I'm Bit, and this is EveryBit-Game. Time to discuss Whimpering Waste, the new permanent game mode being added with 2.1. To play Whimpering Waste, you must have a union level of 30 and have completed the tutorial quest Ocean is a Soul's Rest. This mode is divided into 3 parts: Forbidden Waters, Respawning Chasm, and Respawning Waters Torrents. Each section unlocks once you complete the previous one. These 3 sections contain multiple challenges, and each challenge unlocks once you complete the one before it. Challenges are further divided into 2 halves, and for each half, you'll need to deploy a team of 3 characters. Interestingly, you cannot equip the same characters in both halves, but there is a preset section to make it easier for you. Once you enter the battle, you must complete both halves one by one. To complete the challenge, you'll need to earn a certain amount of points to achieve the minimum rating. Clearing the challenges in Forbidden Waters helps you unlock different tokens, which are required to complete later challenges, as they provide buffs that can come in handy as the difficulty increases. When it comes to rewards, completing Forbidden Waters will give you 800 Astrites. Completing Respawning Waters, Chasm will reward you with 625 Astrites, and Torrents will give you 175 Astrites. The rewards for Forbidden Waters can only be claimed once. For Respawning Waters, both Chasm and Torrents challenges and rewards will reset with every cycle, which lasts for 4 weeks. With the release of Whimpering Wastes, the schedule for the Tower of Adversity Hazard Zone will also be adjusted, and each season of Hazard Zone will reset every 4 weeks. Let's talk about the fishing. There will be both limited time and permanent rewards. All you need to do is sit on Rachel, this fish boat thingy gondola, and find a fishing spot in the sea. Once you do that, you can start fishing. All you need to do is stop the pointer at the right time. I think it's a better system than the traditional fishing gameplay in other games, where you throw the bait and wait for the fish to bite, as it saves time. However, I do miss seeing my characters actually catch the fish, which is a bit disappointing. Once you've caught the fish, you need to put them in your gondola's cargo, which has limited storage space. However, it can be expanded by upgrading the gondola, using fishery coins, which you can earn by selling fish. You can sell fish at the dock, where there's also a shop where you can purchase items to enhance your fishing abilities. Both Rover and Phoebe can unlock advanced fishing abilities, which, in turn, increase the sale value of your catches, help you gain more materials through processing, and boost your chances of catching rare or mutant fish. Similar to the Echo Databank, there is a fish index, where you can check the count and the shape of the boxes occupied by each fish. This will help you plan better based on the storage you have available, and you can also track the fish you want to catch from the same place. While fishing, you also need to take care of your gondola, as it can take damage if you hit bump puffs, tornadoes, or ghost medusas while navigating the waters. If your gondola's health drops to 0, you will be teleported back to the dock, and all your catches in the cargo will be lost. If Rachel takes any damage while exploring, you'll also have the option to restore its health using fishery coins at the dock. You can also find merchants who offer delivery requests, where you can sell them the fish they want and collect fishery coins in return. Let's talk about Phoebe. She is an acolyte, a preacher of peace, and has a knack for appearing exactly where and when she is needed. According to her backstory, she can distinguish between the same echoes and loves them all, and they love her in return. Ooh, isn't she the most perfect thing in the world? When it comes to combat, Phoebe is a spectro type, and her weapon is a rectifier. Her resonance skill summons a ring of mirrors at the target location, which can cause up to 12 enemies to stagnate for 2 seconds. If Phoebe is in or near the circle, she teleports to the center of the ring and deals spectro damage. If she is away from the mirrors, her attacks get trapped inside the circle, bouncing off the mirror's walls a couple of times, dealing multiple hits to enemies within. The Ring of Mirrors also applies Frazzle, a damage over time effect on enemies, dealing damage to affected enemies every 3 seconds. This effect can stack up to 10 times. When it comes to her forte, Phoebe has 2 of them, and she can switch between the 2 when her prayers bar is full, which holds up to 120 prayers. The prayers bar fills up automatically at a rate of 5 prayers per second, meaning it will be full every 24 seconds. Once it's full, you can switch between the 2 forte states, called Absolution and Confession. However, Phoebe cannot be in both the Absolution and Confession states at the same time. You can enter the Absolution state by performing a heavy attack called Absolution Litany. Upon activation, her forte bar turns yellow, and her heavy attacks deal more damage at the cost of 1/4 of her forte bar. Not only that, but when in the Absolution state, her outro also deals more damage. To activate the Confession state, press and hold the skill button when the prayers bar is full. The forte bar will turn blue instead of yellow, and her heavy attacks will consume half of her forte bar. These attacks will debuff enemies, dealing 100% Frazzle damage while applying 5 stacks of Frazzle. Her outrow also changes. It debuffs the enemy instead of dealing damage. Long story short, if you want to main her, go with Absolution, and if you want to use her as support, you can go with Confession. While Phoebe's banner is already available, Brant's banner will be available starting March 6th, right after Phoebe's banner. There are 2 new maps being added, Riccioli Islands and Vault Underground. Phoebe wants to help Cetus, the whale, and how can we say no to her, right? To do so, we'll be venturing to Riccioli Islands with her and Brant, where we'll need to do some fishing to gather fishery coins and materials to repair an old ship and 3 of the 4 lighthouses on Riccioli Islands. Our goal is to find the storm-shrouded island where Cetus might be located. Along the way, we may also come across the new Lorelei. The second map, Vault Underground. Well, I have no idea right now why we'll be going there or what we'll be doing. If you're aware of the lore, please let me know in the comments below. But one thing I do know is that, just like always, it looks absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to reach there. Speaking of which, ray tracing is also coming to the game. While it does make the game look slightly better in terms of water reflections and shadows, while adding a warmer tone compared to regular graphics, in my opinion, ray tracing makes much more sense in games with realistic graphics. It's a bit overkill for games like Wuthering Waves, which already has a beautiful art style and aesthetics. Now, this is totally my subjective opinion, but I'd really like to hear your thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments. If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay connected, so we can enjoy our games together and every bit of it. See you in the next video.